Welcome to what we call Half Hour with Jonah Mungoshi. As usual, every time around this time, we get to give you what we call a weekly dose of inspiration from none other than Jonah Mungoshi, a success coach, transformational leadership practitioner, is also has this life purpose to actually help people discover their potential and create wealth. Last week, we learned quite a bit about getting out of our comfort zone and getting started. Today, Jonah speaks to us about harnessing the power of why. But we also have airtime to give away, courtesy of Half Hour with Jonah Mungoshi. Stay locked on and find out how you could possibly walk away with that airtime. Jonah, it's all yours.
How do I make sure that when I start taking action on a goal that I've set, I continue to take that action? How do I sustain my efforts? How do I maintain my drive? How do I stay motivated? That is the number one question that I get from most people who are on this journey of self-improvement. They may be looking at changing positively their work situation, their business, their relationships, their health, their finances. The number one question that I keep getting is, how do I stay motivated, maintain my drive, sustain my effort? What do I need to do? Hello, this is Jonah Mungoshi. Today we are discussing the topic, harnessing the power of why. The answer to that question, the question of how you can stay motivated, fired up, maintain your drive, sustain your effort, lies in a question, and that question is why. Why do you need to do this? Why do you need to achieve this goal? What will happen? If you have an answer of earth-shaking relevance, trust me on this, you will sustain the effort. The reason why most of us don't sustain our efforts is that we don't have a strong enough why. The bigger the why, the longer you will stay the course. So you need to take time to answer the why question. Someone once told me that Albert Einstein is quoted as having said, if I have 5 minutes to save the world, I would spend 4 minutes planning what I'm going to do and 1 minute taking action. Now, I seriously doubt that Albert Einstein actually said that. However, it emphasizes the importance of that prior thinking and planning. So if you are going to take sustainable action, take time to start by answering the why question. I previously spoke about pull factors and push factors in answering the why. Pull factors are those positive aspirations, the dream that you have, the vision, a picture of the desired future. So some people find this fueling them to take action consistently, motivating them. That's a pull factor. Push factors are those aspects of your current situation that you hate, that you despise, that you're trying to get away from. What is it that is negative about your status quo right now? What do you hate about your current situation? What would you like to escape from? And what do you want to change? So those are push factors. And some people are more fired up and pushed by looking at those push factors, looking at what they despise about their current situation, and then letting that drive them to take action, letting that push them to take action. To help you to answer the why question, I also want to share with you today 3 sources of motivation. And these are 3 sources that I came up with as a result of my experience working with numerous people who are on the journey of self-improvement. And these are called the 3 Ps: pragmatism, purpose, passion. So some people are pragmatists. A pragmatist is a person who is driven by logic. When they look at a situation, they might not like what they need to do. They might not be passionate about it, an action that they want to take. They might not be as despiseful of their current situation as those people who are pushed by push factors, but they can reason out that if I do this, this will give me this result. If I continue on this journey, I'll end up in this place. So they use pure logic. They don't use emotion. They're not so fired up even about the vision of the future like those who are pulled by pull factors, but they simply look at the reality of the situation and are able to analyze it in a dispassionate manner. So that is a pragmatist. Are you a pragmatist? It's important that you identify which one of these 3 you closely relate with. Number 2, passion. People who are driven by passion get excited about an idea. And this excitement is amazing. It can be infectious. When they're excited about something, they're so driven that they could go the whole night working on an activity. They could spend days, they could miss some meals. They just get so immersed in what they're doing, so emotional about it, that it's amazing to watch them doing what they do. By the way, there is no source of motivation that is better than another, right? So don't think a passionate person will necessarily achieve better results than a pragmatist or the opposite. It's just a question of identifying which one you are and then making sure you maximize on it. You exploit that aspect of your being in order for you to achieve the success that you desire. So we've looked at pragmatism, we've looked at passion. The third category are those people who are driven by purpose. These are the people who see a picture of the future that they want to achieve, and they paint that picture in their mind, and they are so fixated on it that even if their current situation is not giving them desirable results, they will stay the course because they are driven by that vision. So what I would like you to do is to identify which one of the three is predominant in you. Are you predominantly a pragmatist, or a passion-driven person, or a purpose-driven person? And then use that to craft your answer to the why. Why do you want to achieve the goal that you want to achieve? Answer it in relation to your predominant source of motivation. And by the way, we've got a surprise for you. Stay on the program. We'll be talking about so what, and we'll also be giving you a surprise relating to a prize you can get by the end of the show. See you on the other side.
16 after 2, yeah, in Inindawo Mirwa. Anyway, Jonah, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent, wonderful, and fantastic. How are you, Glenda?
I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm trying to figure out here from what you've just been talking about there. Is it possible for me to be neither a pragmatist or be driven by purpose or have some sort of passion? Is it possible not to have either of one?
I think it's possible. I think every person has got a little bit of each of those. But there tends to be, in most cases, a predominant one.
Okay.
And if you're not so sure, if you ask your friends, close friends, they will know and they will tell you. And it's so funny because even if you make attempts to disguise it, it just comes out. They will know. I mean, the moment I came up with this model and I asked my wife, before I'd even finish, say, passion, that's you, passion. Yeah, and I look at her and I'm like, pragmatist, definitely. She's a pragmatist.
Okay, so I really need to look at myself and try to figure out which of these I am. But anyway, fam, it's good to have you on the show. I know we want to get into the nitty-gritties of this very issue that we want to talk about. But
before we go,
yeah,
I've got something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for all the listeners out there, the most important question that's driving this show is, so what? Right. Last week I shared with you some tips, some ideas on getting started. And my question to you is, so what? Today I'm sharing with you on harnessing the power of why. And that question remains, so what? What we're saying is, so what are you going to do about this? Because, you spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes on this program, half an hour. You've spent half an hour in your life that you can't replace. And unless you've got results to show for it, you are wasting your time. So what I want is to know the actions you are taking. And today we're starting something that we hope we will maintain in this program, where we want to get feedback. If you took action, any action that you took as a result of last week's show, we would like you to share on the Capital FM Facebook page. Maybe you might need to give them a Facebook page once I finish. Share in brief the action you took as a result of listening to the show last week. That's the so what, right? So from the answers you share, we will pick the one that is most convincing, okay? Mm-hmm. Mark my words. We didn't say the most impressive, but most convincing. We are also pragmatists. We'll look at how realistic it is. And we will give a small prize of 1,000 Zim dollars EcoCash, okay? So that's what we will do. So when you share, just put your number there, the number EcoCash number that you want us to send the money to. But you need to go to the Facebook page for Capital FM. Please share with them the Facebook page.
All right, so jump onto our Facebook page. It's Capital 100.4 FM. You could win yourself 1,000 RTGS airtime each and every Wednesday from 2:10 to 2:40 when we have Jonah Mungoshi here to give us our weekly dose of inspiration by simply telling us what you have learned and implemented so far. So drop a comment and who knows, it could just be you walking away with that airtime right there. So all you need to do is jump onto the Capital 100.4 FM Facebook page. Also remember to like our page and also share. But drop a comment on the poster that you will see. Yakanzi, so what? What have you learned? Last week, we learned quite a bit about getting out of our comfort zone. Did you implement anything that Jonah spoke about last week? So, yeah, interesting times. But before we get into the show, someone comes through, says, had the opportunity to listen to Jonah Mungoshi's audio tapes, especially where he's talking about his 36-hour speech, listened to it countless times, have attended some of his practical seminars and was challenged to say the least. To cut the story short, Jonah has inspired me to self-publish my first personal finance book. And among other things, it is through listening to his wisdom that I've managed to launch my construction business, and we're doing very well. I always feel energized listening to this man. Keep up the good work, Jonah. This is Fansen Como. I had to just send through that before we get into the nitty-gritties of today.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I appreciate that. I believe I'm serving a purpose. And when I get that confirmation, I think that's enough energy to sustain me, regardless of whatever material benefits I might be getting or not getting. It's just so touching when you get such confirmation. Anyway, back to you.
All right, so this is me thinking I should have just given the airtime to him, but because I'm so convinced it took action. But yeah, jump onto the WhatsApp platform and also our Facebook page, which is Capital 100.4 FM, and who knows, you could walk away with 1,000 RTGS airtime, courtesy of Half Hour with Jonah Mungoshi. All you need to do is drop a comment and tell us what you implemented from last week. So harnessing the power of why. Let's get into it, Jonah. I know you spoke about planning. Pa planning apo ndona panonetsa wakawanda. Tinongoti tinongoona zvaita, tinongotrya apana planning inoisiwa in that regard.
Yeah, the main problem is that a significant number of people who have made attempts to live a conscious life where you are actually trying to determine the circumstances that you create, trying to manifest certain results in your life, they've done some planning. And unfortunately, most people have unrealistic expectations of their plan. So remember what I said last week, that a lot of us overestimate what we can do in the short term and underestimate what we can do in the long term. Most of our plans are unrealistic. And coupled with the fact that we are unforgiving to ourselves, we feel so discouraged when we don't keep the course, when we don't stay motivated, fired up to do what we said we would, that we end up just flipping totally to the other side and saying, forget about it. And hence that need to be kind of modest in your planning initially. It's like developing a muscle. You know, I shared you that crazy story about doing 365 press-ups. You develop a muscle by gradually taking incrementally challenging actions. So when you plan, don't start with trying to boil the ocean, right? Take it one step at a time and do something that's moving you out of your comfort zone, but it's happening in a manner that can help you develop that muscle of your being, whether it's the muscle of your mind or your psychological muscle. It is of utmost importance. So planning is critical, absolutely critical. If I was to get $10 each time somebody quotes that saying that says failing to plan is planning to fail, I'd have been a millionaire in US dollars by now. But most people say it and they pay lip service to it. So start with your life. Really seriously sit down and plan. And I would say, okay, this is a rough estimate, but I would say 97% of the things I've planned have not happened the way I planned. Does that mean plans are useless? Absolutely not. It is not the precision of planning that matters. It is the process of planning itself, because you attract certain circumstances into your life. You manifest certain realities based on what is in your mind, right? So some might think, no, I'm going to the metaphysical. No, but it's a reality of life, that there's nothing you can achieve, you can bring into existence if you have not first conceived it into your mind. You conceive it into your mind, and then maybe you put it on paper, and then you build it. So that planning is of critical importance. Oh, my word, I'm left with 3 more minutes. Today I
Oh,
need
yeah.
to dash.
You need
But
to dash.
I hope that helps. But listen, if there are a couple more questions, I would love to answer questions today. That's really what I had on my mind.
All right, someone comes through, says hanzi vamwe hatisi a current situation yatiri asi ma-opportunities acho hauye vamwe vanongoti izvona ndakatanga business rangu from scratch but pane munhu akamuvhurira door hanzi zvema-connections izvi sometimes take people to the next level but ma-opportunities acho hauye. What is your take on that one?
If there are no opportunities, create them. We create them. Let me tell you something. If you will never, ever get an opportunity coming to you when you're doing absolutely nothing. Right? So start doing something. A piece of advice that I give to young people who are unemployed and who have really nowhere to start is go and volunteer somewhere. Go and volunteer. And when you volunteer, work as if you're being paid the highest salary in the world. Why do I say this? Because I personally did that. When I started off at the University of Zimbabwe way back in 1988, right, I discovered computers. I was in love with computers. And that's what kept me away from girls when I was at university. And then I went to Zimbabwe Alloys in Gweru. That's where my parents were living. And I approached the manager who was in charge of Asia, and I said, I would like to work in your computer department. They said, no, we don't have a job. The next day I went there dressed in my polyester suit, you know, the ones that are garbage. I said, I've come. He said, no, I told you yesterday we don't have a job. Third day I went there. I said, well, yesterday I thought, maybe today, but listen to me. I don't want to be paid. Don't pay me even a penny. I will work. I was the first person to get to work once they gave me an opportunity. I was only being given bus fare to go home and come back in Mukoba. I wouldn't go for lunch because I had no money for lunch. I was the last person to leave because I had so much work to do. And after 2 holidays working like that, the boss from head office, Malcolm Green, came, saw what I had done, and said, look, who's this guy? And I said, well, he's just a student we're helping. He's not too useful. I said, did he design this program? And they said, yes. He said, next time I want him next holiday at head office Chathouse in Harare, and I want you to pay him what you have not been paying him, like our other official VAC students, for the past 2 holidays that he worked, back pay. And that's because I stepped in. So put your foot in the doorway. Go and start something somewhere. Get off your butt. Nothing will come out you're sitting there wishing. Even if you talk about connections, go and make those connections. When you volunteer to somebody who's influential, you're already establishing a relationship. So sitting, mourning, thinking about it will not bring any result.
I like that. I know you have to dash, but let me just quickly jump onto the WhatsApp platform and hear what someone has to say, and I'll let you go. Jonah's work is God calling. I'm in the process of quitting smoking. I've put 4 posters, no smoking in my bedroom. However, I find myself smoking, but I'm glad I've managed to reduce from 10 cigarettes to 6. I'm very optimistic. I'll get there. Thank you, Jonah. So some messages that are coming through here, but I know I have to let you go. Remember, you can also jump onto the Capital 100.4 FM Facebook page and tell us about what you have done in terms of action to change the situation that you're in. We have 1,000 RTGS time to give away courtesy of Half Hour with Jonah Mungoshi. Jonah, your parting shots before I let you go. We know we have a battle, but I'll tell you how it transpires a little later because I know you got some serious things that you need to get up to.
Yeah. Well, parting shot is that I know I speak very fast and it leaves some people out. So in order to cater for those who find it hard to follow or take notes whilst I speak, I am offering to provide you a transcript of what I will have shared. All you need to do, take a pen and paper, write down this number, 078 098 0451. You send your name to that number via WhatsApp, and we will send you a transcript of not only today's session, but last week's session as well. Let me repeat that, 078 098 0451. And I will send you a transcript. Whatever you do, please take action. Take action now, take action tomorrow, take action always. Thanks. See you next week.
Nice one. All right, that was Jonah Mungoshi, and it has been Half Hour with Jonah Mungoshi. We get to do this every week around this time, and we get our weekly dose of inspiration. Remember, you can get in touch with us on 0719 100 404 if you missed that number. But as well, we have airtime that we are giving away courtesy of Half Hour with Jonah Mungoshi. You could win yourself 1,000 RTGS airtime each and every Wednesday from 2:10 to 2:40 by simply telling us what you have learned and implemented so far. We've had 2 sessions. This is the second session, and today we were talking about harnessing the power of why. Last week we talked about getting started. What have you implemented so far? Drop a comment on our Facebook page, Capital 100.4 FM, and who knows, you could walk away with that airtime. So back to the battle in just a bit. The number is 0719 100 404. The battle is between Shaina, Alexio Kawara, and Trevor Dongos and Disco Mira. 0719 100 404. We take a bit of an ad break and we're back with that snippet just now.
DSTV has your perfect TV match. If you know your flambe from your saute, we're serving up some
yummy.
If high-octane dockies are more your speed, get in the driver's seat. Are you all about that drama? We'll bring it from the courtroom to the emergency room for a serious series dose. Because with a fresh new lineup of the best TV, no matter what you're into, DSTV has your perfect TV match. So get connected and stay connected to DSTV. This is your TV moment.
Well, blessed be to the Most High, Jah Rastafari. It's dinner upon the case and dosing for Capitalk 100.4 FM, saying, Who's a kanganwe, chirangano chedu. Boom!
Ndijashika chete inanjiskumira shaginona inene nichachiwana inanjiskumira kwanda nanga inene ndachashika chete ndijashika chete.
All right, so there you have it. That's the snippet for today. That's the battle between Jonah Mungoshi and myself. Which one would you want to hear from start to end? Between those two, played you a snippet of Andisku Mira, Trevor Dongo, as well as a snippet of Shaina, Alexio Kawara. Which one would you rather listen to from start to end? 0719 100 404. Also share with us what you've learned today. But jump onto the Facebook page, Capital 100.4 FM. You will see a poster, Yakanzi So What with Jonah Mungoshi. Drop a comment there and share with us what you've learned so far from the 2 sessions that we've had with Jonah. And who knows, you could walk away with 1,000 RTGS worth of airtime, courtesy of Half Hour with Jonah Mungoshi. So let's do that. And also remember to like our page, share it, and also tell people about Capital 100.4 FM. We love the love we always get on our WhatsApp platform. But to my likes, my love more as well. In the social media pages, they pay do and it. So that airtime up for grabs. Just jump onto the Facebook page, Capital 100.4 FM. And drop that comment. 0719 100 404. Before I drop the song that has just walked away with this one today, before I tell you whose song was which, let me jump onto the WhatsApp platform here. And someone voting for Trevor Katsande saying Trevor Dongo. Someone says Hanzi, Jona, Alexio Kawara. Who else do we have here? Others saying, I will not be able to go through all of them, but I'll try to just give you some of the messages that are coming in around the votes. Ellen thinks Alexio Shaina. Who else do we have here? Someone voting for Alexio should be Estube from Seke. I didn't want to murder your name here, so let me just leave it at that. Babamkuru, Babano, Cooper, Stone Ridge, Masura say. Also want to send a shout out to Tracy from Murewa. Good to know that you're locked on. Eshi from Zimri, I see your vote as well. Who else is here? Mighty Ara from Belgravia. Good afternoon to you. Keep those votes coming in. We also have Mushipe Mshupe from Southview Park. I also see your request here as well. Maitariropa Aspendal, good afternoon to you. Emperor Pabudiriro 3, good afternoon to you. Deborah Changara, Zivara Sekwa Extension, how are you this afternoon? Maima Chona Patinwold. All right, so many messages still coming in, but keep those votes coming in so that we get to drop whichever song you want to hear between Handisco Mira, Trevor Dongo, or Alexio Kawara's Shina. Hashtag half hour with Jonah Mungoshi. This is someone saying Handisco Mira. All right, so thank you so much. We'll see how it pans out in just a bit. Keep those messages rolling in. We'll take a bit of an ad break. We'll be back just now.
Uyakuno. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Mageto youth ndi poptain ari kutaura. Ndauya kwamuri ne serious message amana. Ndati tingorangaridzana kuti COVID-19 ichiri kwa mana saka you can't relax amana. Look out, tiri muhondo pari kupisa panza apa maziva. Musanyanya kupararira mugeto redu tichidi social distancing. Let's keep practicing that. Sanitize, keep your mask on. Always keep your guard up, man. You wouldn't want to lose yourself. This is Poptain and this message was brought to you by Ministry of Health and Child Care. Uyakuno.
25 minutes before 3 o'clock. It has been half hour with Jonah Mungoshi. We get to do this again next week, hoping that you've been inspired. Keep those messages rolling in as well. If you want his number, it's 0780-980-451. If you want a transcript of the session he gave us today, he will be able to send through even from last week's session. 0719-100-404. Someone says, I just loved the 3 P's from Jonah Mungoshi, namely pragmatism, passion, and purpose. Bismarck, go to the Facebook page. Oh knows, fam. As well, you also need to tell us what you've learned and what you've implemented so far. That's exactly how you will be in the running to win that 1,000 RTGS worth of airtime. So it's congratulations to Alexio Kawara walking away with this one here. The votes have come through and we have to just shut it down. Thank you so much to those that voted. Thank you so much for those that tuned in. I can't possibly go through all of your messages, but I see them and we acknowledge those messages and the love coming from that end. So I will tell you though, Kuti Shaina was actually Jonah Mungoshi's pick. I picked Handisco Mira from Trevor Dongo. I'll tell you why I picked Trevor Dongo, though but the reason I picked Trevor was simple. There could be stumbling blocks regardless of what people say. Don't let that stop you. Keep pushing. And I think it's similar to the message that is being spread in this particular song. So it's congratulations to Jonah Mungoshi walking away with this one today. Last week I didn't quite get it as well. Guys, what we just say. But thank you so much for tuning in, and this is Alexio Kawara with Shina.
Dio mugariro wayo dengarino kwidibira rona kunisakura mwezi unotombonyura wani siku kochinaso shiba asiona mabazura chieza chotuya zuwa barino buda richishaina newe shaina zuwa barino buda iwe richishaina newe shaina kunyangwe kunerima uri mwenje usazotima zuwa barino buda iwe richishaina newe shaina sisipa zinoerera nemarara pasipo sara nechecha neweramba okuparara kuzvinonga zirese ziva masango akukura mukupera kwazvose kuchabuda zuva parinobuda iwewe richishaina newe shaina zuva parinobuda iwe richishaina newe shainao kunyangwe kunerima uri mwenje usazotimao zuva parinobuda iwe richishaina newe shainao.
Well, no matter what you're going through,